Hey guys, it's the Oztech Warrior. Welcome to the video. I hope you liked that little drone flyover shot before. Shout out to my mate Quack for hooking us up with the drone. I reckon it'll look pretty cool. So today's video is pretty much about the MacBook M1 and why I think it's worth upgrading from your current machine to it. But before that, just to address the channel, I haven't actually posted anything since 2018. So it's been a minute, but pretty much I want to get back into posting. There's a lot of cool little project ideas I have and things that I'm working on, whether that be the three main areas would be technology, specifically programming and little project things, and then self-development improvements such as like mental health and picking up girls and all that sort of stuff. So I've got a lot of videos in mind. It's freezing right now, so I think we should head back in. What do you think?
Yeah.
Cool, easy. We'll see you inside with the clip of unboxing the M1. Cool, now's the time where I get to unbox my M1 Mac. We're gonna shoot a little scene of it. Hopefully it turns out pretty cool. I'm excited to have this thing. It's gonna make my editing so much better and it's gonna make things so much easier. So let's go. So that was actually filmed about 2 weeks ago. I've been using the MacBook ever since, and it is awesome. So why would you buy the MacBook M1? In my opinion, there's about 2, maybe 3 main reasons you would buy the MacBook M1. Number 1 is video editing. If you're using Final Cut or Premiere Pro, I believe Premiere Pro still has a beta out that should be released shortly or potentially has already been released, using native M1 silicon processing power, and Final Cut obviously has that native support already. So through my experience using Final Cut, it's buttery smooth, it jumps through frames super easily. I've been running multiple applications while rendering in the background and haven't had a single issue. It's been brilliant. Number 2 would be programming, but under the strict guideline that you would have actually checked if your framework is compatible beforehand. So I, for instance, checked, there's a website that I'll link in the description down below that lets you check the compatibility of a number of different apps. I use Flutter mainly and Python, and they're both compatible, not natively, but at least through Rosetta or Rosetta 2. And so they run fairly stable, enough to get good performance out of them, but I wouldn't recommend buying one if your framework isn't compatible yet, under the hopes that it eventually is, because you could be waiting a while. And option number 3 would be just general work and play. I mean, if you're just doing Word documents or you're just doing general web browsing, watching a bit of Netflix, social media, that sort of stuff, the battery life is insane on this thing. I got about a week of general cut in and out usage on one charge, and if that doesn't speak for it, like, it's insane. And it charges incredibly quick too, about an hour of charging and it's back fully at charge from about 30%. So yeah, if you're just going to be doing general stuff on it, its battery life is great, its performance is great. I would 100% hands down recommend it. So those are the reasons that I would recommend doing it. They're the professional landscapes that I'd recommend using an M1 in. Next, we'll be going over what have you got already versus why would you choose this. So obviously, if you've already got something really amazing, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but we'll go over that in the next section when we're grabbing dinner. I think we're probably going to go tacos, so I'll see you there. Hey guys, so we're at the taco place now. Got myself fish tacos and some cheese nachos. They look delicious. I'll let you know how they are at the end. Tip number 2 is, what have you got already? So the M1 Mac is pretty cool, but if you've got anything in the last 4 years, I wouldn't recommend it unless it doesn't work for what you're using it for. So I had a desktop PC that was pretty good, but every time I rendered a video and tried to put together a YouTube video or something more commercial, it would crash every single time. So I had no option. So if you're in the same boat and you had to upgrade to something, I'd wholeheartedly recommend it. If you didn't have to though, or you've got anything reasonably new, probably wouldn't be my option. But yeah, gonna dig into the food and I'll see you after. Finally back, and this is the end of the video. So this is where I get my wrap up and we conclude whether you should or shouldn't upgrade. So the last thing I'll say is the M1 is new, and being that that chip is new, we might see caveats eventually. So whether that be security vulnerabilities that are found, glitches, decreased performance over time, things like that. Those are things that we would say are long-term projections and things that we can't figure out just yet. So just be prepared that that's a reality if you were to get this newer technology. It's always a risk with new technology. The downsides right now is the short-term risks of new technology, which tend to be like incompatibility for your favorite apps. So certain things like certain music apps or streaming apps or productivity apps or work applications might not work at all. So if you haven't checked down below in that link that I put in whether your application is compatible, then there's a good chance that you could be setting yourself up for failure. So check it out, make sure your apps are available. Other than that, I would wholeheartedly, again, recommend it as long as you're not upgrading from something that's already really new and very stable, and you've checked all those things we've gone over before. Hit up the MacBook M1. It's awesome. That's it for today. Enjoy the rest of your day.